there's like 10 notifications that are like, these are the wishes to get these wishes. Do this shit. Here's a daily login shit for more wishes.
All right. Okay. I think we're back. I think we're good. I hope we're good. Yeah?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, looks like it.
Let me just. Nope, that's not it. Ah, that's it. Okay. Good. Okay. So, my apologies for what has transpired. What was the last thing you guys heard me say before I so rudely crashed, apparently?
Something of the lines of "Oh shit! Oh damn! Oh no!"
Okay, aside from that, like character-wise.
Well, it was pretty much just after Emrys had, explained that we wanted passage, and then we didn't hear anything from the captain. Really.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Uh, gotcha. All right. There goes the whole speech I had for a while. Okay. That's fair. That's fine. That's fine. We're fine. We're fine. Okay. Um, this episode is going to be split into two parts because the fucking stream.
Damn.
It's fine. Anyway, the captain introduces himself as Captain Baham. That's why I wrote the name there. Name's Captain Baham. He looks around. You're mercenary types, then.
Yes,
Not pathfinders, though. I can't see any belts.
that's correct.
Oh, he rubs his beard. You do see he has a small beard for a dwarf. Very well trimmed. Doesn't It's not like the other dwarfs that reaches his chest. Just a little bit past his Adam's apple. Just, well, can't say I'm gonna turn down help, even if it's not from the Pathfinders Guild. No offense. Pathfinders Guild, they just have a reputation and assurances in terms of quality, if you understand my meaning.
Understood. I understand. Don't worry.
I don't exactly know who, but the both of you are. So I'm gonna have to trust you on it.
We could demonstrate our abilities in some capacity.
Sure, go ahead. Show off. Let me see what you do.
Okay, Emrys is going to. What could Emrys do to show off? Give me a second. Let me have a look. How far do I want to go? Okay, I know exactly how far Emrys is going to go. Emrys is just like, stand back, please. And Emrys kind of, takes a space where actually, I just realised how busy is this dock? I want to know if I can do this. Very busy. Okay,
Yeah.
I better not do this. Actually, I'll do something else. What can I do to show off that won't like kill everyone in the nearby radius?
It would be best if you didn't kill anyone, yes, but do go on.
I am doing that. Okay, well, is it not busy enough that I could get a roughly 10-foot radius area around me? to be empty
I mean,
without too much.
you can look towards the water if you want. Like you're on the pier, so there's space between the several docks, several piers of water if you want, or you can go right at the edge of that pier and into the ocean.
Okay, but if I like stood at the edge of the pier, is it so busy that I couldn't like have 10 foot around me, or would that be doable?
Like there's always people moving around, so unless you tell everyone to stand back and away from you, there's always going to be people moving around.
Okay. In that case, I guess Emrys is just going to. Okay, Emrys just looks at the captain, just kind of thinks for a moment, and then reaches a hand up, kind of holds their palm out towards him, and just says, "I suggest that you find our abilities very impressive." Emrys cast suggestion.
Oh, that's a way of doing it. Let's see. We rolled a natural one. I'm not even going to ask for the DCs. Go. Right. Well, you look like tough lads. Sure. Let's go with that. He just rubs his head like he doesn't even know why he's saying that. He didn't see any abilities. Sure.
I just want to say I really wanted to like use like really visually impressive stuff, but it's all like centered around me, so it would have like killed everyone. Well, not killed everyone, but been very damaging.
Yep.
Hunger of Hadar the docks.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to do actually.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Hunger of the docks.
Sev, why?
Yes.
Kill 'em, boy.
TPK. Anyway, yeah. All right. So you're saying there's 5 of you. Here's the deal. We go to Wallgate. We take off tomorrow. You pay me the trip to Wallgate. If we encounter trouble and we hunt down that thing, I give you back the money you paid and a wee bit extra, depending on what happens.
That sounds quite agreeable.
Hey, bet it does. Alright, so I'm gonna need payment up front.
How much would you be asking for?
It's going to be 50 gold per person.
50 gold per person is acceptable, I believe. Emrys just looks to Demir for confirmation.
Demir and his broke ass is gonna nod. To borrow the money.
Of course, it's totally fine.
Demir could have afford pretty much anything, so this is kind of like, yeah, he'll figure it out. Actually, Demir does have 54 gold pieces, so he does have enough.
He go, you're paying it now. You want me to save you a spot on the ship? A bed for each of you. Be sure to pay me before, I'm gonna say, middle of the afternoon. For the end of the day, then it's fine.
Thank you. We would. I think it would be best if we speak to the other friends of ours before paying immediately. But as soon as we have heard from them, we will return. And I hope it is. I hope that they agree.
Aye, get ready for the fight, though. It's gonna be a hell of a good one if we do find that creeper.
Yes.
You see him smile. All right. We shift back to the others as you two turn away and return to where the others supposedly went. As we shift back to the others, Callahan, Edward, Kyoho, you get closer and closer to the flags. Following Callahan, and then both of you also start seeing these flags. You get closer and closer to the edge of the docks, the very last pier. And when you get there, you notice it's not a huge vessel. Far from it. It's a small ship. It's should be big enough to take all of you if you huddle up a little bit on the inside of the ship itself. But it is, well, it's big enough for a group. But you only see one person. You don't see several people walking around. You don't see a crew. You only see one person. What you see is a human woman. She seems to be about average height. She is wearing a tattered kimono, very Oni-like, with this black sash around her, and she has this long mane of kind of wild mane of weird hair. Like it's could be blonde, but it's almost reddish in nature. And she seems to be wearing it in a ponytail. What you do notice is that she has this eye patch on one eye and a loose sleeve where her right arm is supposed to be. You do see the left arm as she is tying up some ropes using just one hand. And the other sleeve, it's a long sleeve with tattered edges, but it's just dangling there. She seems to be working on the ship right now. Guys?
Hello.
Oh, thank God! For a second, I thought the stream crashed again.
Ahoy there!
You say that. She continues to work, not even really paying attention to you.
Is that not what seafarers say? Hey! Hi, hello! Kyo, do you want to say something? Do you want to say something?
Trying to figure out what I should say in character.
Can I say ahoy but in Oni?
It's ahoy.
But in Oni.
But at the end you say but in Oni. Yeah, you give out like an ahoy like phrase that you've heard some of the sailors.
Ahoy!
Yeah, kinda. Some of the sailors say back at Walgate, some of the Oni sailors, and she looks in your direction, looks between you three. What do you want?
Is she replying common or Oni?
She is speaking common.
Ooh, okay. How you doing? We're trying to get to somewhere near Onigashima. I couldn't help but notice that you have 2 flags up. What's up with that?
You see her roll her eye. She only has one. There's this big eye patch covering the other. None of your business. That's what. And you do notice the more you hear her speak, the thicker her accent is. She probably has an accent thicker than Kyoho's. Or about as thick as Kyoho's.
So what you're telling me is she's about as thick as Kyoho.
She is
thicker than Kyoho.
I will say this. I didn't mention this. I didn't mention this during the description, but she is quite well endowed. Yes. I didn't find it relevant at the moment.
We can definitely.
Oh, it's always relevant.
It's always relevant.
God, I'm playing with a bunch of guys. I keep forgetting that. Okay, keep going.
We could definitely make it your business. We aren't expecting to travel for free.
Not a cruise ship.
I didn't presume so. Or if you're not looking for any passengers, that's okay. I respect your boundaries in regards to that, so we can just bounce if you prefer.
She looks past you towards Kyoho. You looking to go to Onigashima?
We have business near Onigashima, not on the main island proper. Your name came up when we were trying to find ships that were going that direction with the harbor master.
You see her click her tongue, then pulls a few ropes.
Not as a suggestion.
Good.
Actually, as a statement that you would not take anyone.
Good.
But we saw the flag and sought to at least investigate our options before figuring out which of the paths before us to take.
I don't take passengers. Fuck off.
All right, then.
Thank you for the time of day. And Callan kind of just starts walking off.
Okay.
It's just kind of like, wow, guys, that was the worst interaction I've had all fucking day, and I literally drank lizard tears.
As you turn around, though, you start walking, and then you hear, "Wait!"
Power move, guys. Do we wait or do we just keep walking?
Yoho will wait.
And when you turn around, okay, when you turn around, you do see, you see her jump from the ship to the pier, and she is looking at Callahan, like very attentively at Callahan. That sword you have, where'd you get it? She's pointing at the katana.
We both know I'm going to say none of your business, just to echo out how you were earlier today. But I figure it'd be better just to go above and beyond here. We got it off of a fallen soldier who died in the line of duty.
Did you kill that fallen soldier?
Can I make an insight check, please?
What are you trying to discern?
Before I say something fucking stupid. Like, kind of like seeing where her interest is. Is it kind of clear that she knew who owned the sword?
Well, roll an insight then. Okay, 20. She is definitely paying a lot of attention to the sword, and Yeah, you do get the sense that she at least knows who the sword belongs to. Might recognize the sword, but she's been scowling the whole time since you started talking to her. That hasn't changed, so she's just not someone in a good mood, and she keeps being not such a good mood.
Yeah, it was hard fought for and hard won. It came from a challenge that was made, and I suppose we kind of took the individual up on it. I am gonna go out on a limb here and say that you might have been familiar with the previous owner of this blade.
She looks from you to Kyoho. Who dealt the finishing blow? Completely ignoring your question.
Player question.
Yeah.
Who dealt the finishing blow again?
Yeah, who dealt the finishing blow?
It was Kyoho.
It was Kyoho, yeah.
It was I.
She looks you over.
Kyoho will let herself be examined.
Takes a deep, deep sigh and goes, I'll take you to Onigashima in exchange for the sword.
What interest do you have in this sword?
She pauses for a moment. I don't think I need to tell you. But it would be important to me to have it. That's why I'm, for the first time, allowing you as passengers on my ship. Take it or leave it.
There are other people in our group as well. It's not just us three. And you also don't really, I suppose, listen, like, I'm not gonna lie, the person who owned the sword was a very respectable individual. I'm not just gonna hand this off to someone who won't even give a slightest indication as to what they're gonna use this for. Like, no offense to you, but you're not giving me much in ways of an argument.
I can tell you that I'll keep it for myself.
Oh, that's it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I've been listening this whole time. I would be much safer in the Spear. It's a way bigger ship with soldiers. I don't know about you guys, but she gives me the creeps. I'll go check on Emrys and Amir.
I will say this. Good luck getting to Onigashima. If you're not on my ship.
We're not going to Onigashima, though. We're going
close to it, right? Any of the islands around Onigashima, you'd have to go through the fleet.
Edward slowly looks at Kyoho.
Kyoho slowly looks at the DM. Neat.
Well, there's a fleet that constantly patrols Onigashima and its territory, keep anyone that doesn't belong away. And it's a big, dangerous fleet.
Full of Oni.
Yes,
No
because
offense.
they're all Oni.
Okay, that changes things. I'm Edward. Pleased to meet you.
She keeps ignoring you, Edward, and just looking between the sword and Kyoho.
Racist.
Well, let's discuss this with the rest of our group and get back to you.
Sure. Don't take too long. And she turns around and starts heading back. Gives you one final glare and then goes back to work on her ship.
That ship is either our only saving grace or it's a floating coffin. Let's be real on this one, guys.
Yeah. But,
well, if there are monsters in between here and Wallgate that are facilitating the need to make a ship to go out there and fight it in order to secure the trade route again, then any ship we take that way could very well end up being a coffin for us.
I'm not as afraid of the monsters as I'm afraid of the Oni fleet, to be quite frank.
Second that. This would be best double check with Emrys and Demir.
Yeah.
Kyoho, real quick, whether or not we go with the ship or not, and I pat the sword. I know I've been holding on to this, but it's your call. So whether I give it up or not.
Can I try and figure out why she might want that sword?
How do you try to figure that out?
Figure shit out check?
I mean, you can roll an insight to try to discern something.
That's what I'm thinking. Trying to see if I can't.
Sure, you roll an insight on the whole conversation.
Alright. Scroll up and make sure I wasn't set to disadvantage or advantage.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's very focused on the sword. Like, she didn't give you the time of day until Callahan turned around and she saw the sword. So you don't really know why.
She saw the sword. That was enough to get her. So, did she know him? That's the question. The reason why she would recognize the sword. Because she went for recognizing that one over the one I'm carrying.
Like, I don't think there's anything, like, other than the previous owner. Like, Telia was a great guy. Like, besides he's a better fighter, I don't know if I knew him or anything like that, other than by reputation. But yeah, I don't think we ever found anything magical about it. Definitely tried attuning to it at some stage, but
I mean, out of character, didn't Demir, like, he identifies everything that?
Oh no, it's not magical. It's a masterwork sword. It was like It was incredibly well made, incredibly sharp, but it's not magically enhanced. No.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying that we know it's not magical.
Can I inspect the sword? Like, it doesn't, like, the hilt doesn't come out to, like, and it's like a key or there's a treasure map.
Yeah, you pull out the sword. It's just the shape of a key. Like, okay.
No, I just
a keyblade wielder.
Yeah, it's a keyblade. Okay.
Like, I had a memory of flashing of You know, in Seven Deadly Sins, where it's like the hilt of the sword is like, oh, it's a thing.
Okay. Roll an investigation, please. Okay.
Well, with that advantage, it was it's still 6.
Yeah, it's a sword. It's a katana. It's a very sharp-looking katana, but it's a katana.
Rejoin the party. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, I can describe the sword again to you, but aside from that, you're not gonna. You don't see anything
that's
special.
totally cool. That's
okay.
totally cool. Yeah.
So you guys meet right at the center of between the 2 points. So the conversations kind of took the same amount of time, and yeah, both of you, all 5 of you, meet up and see each other. Go ahead and roleplay.
Rabble.
Don't. Kids. No Charlie Browning. No Charlie.
So, the spear basically agreed, since we are not exactly licensed by Pathfinders, there's no guarantee of work or ability or services, that for passage to Woolgate, we essentially would each pay 50 gold a person. If we successfully find the monster that they are set out to search for, then that money will be refunded, and then possibly get a payday. After which, if our assistance with dealing with the creature is, considerable, we are able to actually contribute in a meaningful way. So, in essence, a 50 gold down payment of sorts for each of us. What did you guys uncover?
She did not give us the time of day until she saw the katana that Callahan is carrying, after which she offered us passage there, not just to the area, but past the fleet around Onigashima, in exchange for the sword.
To the very island we're trying to reach?
Yes.
And this Oni just wants the sword?
Yes.
All right. Can I roll a history check to see if there is, because obviously this was a considerable, important.
By the way, she's human.
Oni figure, we knew that. But as what?
By the way, she's human.
Wait, it was the human who owned the sword? Is that what you're saying?
No, she is human.
Oh, she is human. Okay, sorry, I must have misheard. Okay, but the sword, who was owned by the very super important Oni guy that Demir knew specifically.
Mamoru Telia, yes.
Yes.
He rolled really good about.
Is there any, can I roll a history check to see if there's anything that Demir would know or remember that's specific about the sword, or what cultural significance it has?
I mean, you can roll history, for the general.
I mean, it might just be, hey, it's that guy's sword, and that's why it's important, and there's nothing else.
I mean,
but
you personally knew of Mamoru Tenya. You knew because you remember. Yeah, so you know of all the accomplishments of what he did, the importance that he was one of the sword saints. So pretty big. So you do know that in general, the sword of a figure of that status is a very important thing in Oni culture. Outside of it, you might see a lot of collectors that find it valuable, but in Oni culture, it's something revered.
So what is it revered in the sense of someone's going to pay top dollar for it, or is it more just culturally significant of hey, this is a cool thing?
Both, actually. Depending on the people you talk to, there's likely going to be people that want to, the rich noble houses would want something like that. Some would want to put it on display. Some would want it because it is believed that the sword of a great samurai houses their spirit, therefore their strength. Therefore, it is a way of getting their strength. It's believed to be like that.
My guess would be either she has some sort of sentimental connection that we can't really determine to him and wants the sword out of remembrance, or she recognized the sword for its importance, and given the fact that she knows how to get past the fleet, she's probably a bit of a smuggler and wants to get it back into the country to sell it.
Did she reveal her intentions? Did she say that?
Nope.
She wanted to keep it. That was the
She
only
said that she wanted
intention.
to keep it, yes.
Yeah.
So she like.
I suppose my main concern. I suppose listen, smuggler. I'm not gonna turn my nose up at that. It's a reputable trade, but I suppose my main concern is whether or not she. I suppose I'm worried about like the reputation that the sword itself holds. Do you know what I mean?
Kyoho, this is a bit more your expertise as far as the sword. I know from our standpoint as an adventuring party, none of us actively uses the sword really. Callahan more or less is simply carrying it, and you're the only person I feel who would possibly feel a sense of attachment or regard to the weapon. But from my standpoint, the reason I ask is from my standpoint, it seems very logical to trade this non-magical artifact for passage directly to the place that we are seeking and past the fleet, as opposed to trying to simply get to Woolgate and then find someone else to take us from Woolgate to the place we seek. I mean, this seems very direct and cost-effective, but I don't want to possibly step on any cultural or sentimental parts of this that I can only really speak from this logical standpoint, not from the emotional or spiritual standpoint.
Yes, I understand. DM, what would the cultural aspect of this be?
I guess to be clear, I was basically saying, like, me as a samurai, if Kyoho felt like there was importance to, like, oh no, I'm not going to just give up the sword.
I mean, I can't tell you what the importance would be to Kyoho. I told you what people see the swords as.
What
right?
is typically done with a samurai sword after the samurai has died?
Usually one of three things. It's either placed on their grave. For example, if it's like someone of high importance that's buried in a place that a lot of people can visit and becomes like a monument to that person. It's passed on to either a disciple or someone that defeated them and took it, or it's a lot of them disappear and end up in collections and somewhere else.
So it's not uncommon for these swords to get basically passed around or
no, like
lots of stuff. Okay.
There's the shady passing around, and then there's the well seen passed around. Like it's good that it's passed on to a disciple, or someone that beat someone earned that sword. But if that sword is found in the collection of this rich noble, it depending on the noble, it might, if for example the noble had no connections with that person, might be seen as just a show of power and influence and money, rather than the sword itself having some significance to that individual. It varies a lot, but those are usually the three destinations for such swords.
Mm. Well, I am in the process of trying to get his remains back to Onigashima. So, typically I would try to take the sword back that way too. So, it'd be weird to give up the sword halfway to get there, but it could be a acceptable deal if it's what I'd have to make.
If you're happy enough to go ahead with it, so am I suppose. Listen,
Still wish I could just get her to be a little bit more,
communicative.
you know, about why exactly she wants the sword.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, she
like-
definitely could be trying to smuggle it, although I am very curious, more so than anything, of if she's used to sailing to Onigashima or the waters, and how her humans aren't exactly welcome, traditionally speaking. Certainly, it's possible, but I would certainly doubt that she would be openly walking around or entering the country. Yeah, like we suggested, if she's not simply trying to keep it for herself, then smuggling to some connection is the only thing I can think of. And if that's the case, then I guess in a way it could very well end up back in Onigashima and in the hands of someone who will revere it accordingly. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have any particular. I have great respect for the man who once wielded it, but as far as the sword itself is concerned, it makes no difference to me personally.
Yes.
But like I said, I am not of that specific subculture.
It sounded like we're kind of leaning more and more towards taking the deal. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
One thing that really struck out is that your one side, she was very, very convinced that we weren't going to make it if we went with this other crowd. Not to the island that we're trying to get to anyway.
We could get to Walgate, but getting from there back to the mainland would be difficult. The mainland of Onigashima, I mean.
Did you see her ship? Is it something that, as bearing in mind the spear is traveling specifically outfitted to combat the well, whatever threat is causing ships to sink in the waters beyond? Would that put us at risk if we were to travel with hers?
TM, what does the ship look like? Walgate was kind of a port city, I think. So would Callan know much about like what a good ship looks like or not?
Roll an intelligence.
Intelligence. No.
my biggest weakness, my greatest.
My one weakness.
Yes. Can I perceive?
Biggest weakness, except for Demir.
Let me perceive it, bro, please.
Oh,
Thank
13.
you.
13 is not bad.
Pretty good.
We did lose Spyro, so gonna see if he returns. Probably has more internet issues, like me, but
It's
either
so
way.
sad seeing that dark, empty box.
Yeah, I know. I'm just waiting to see if he returns. The ship itself, well, from what you know, having lived in a port city yourself, it was in good condition. It was big enough to fit all of you. It's going to be a tough fit, but in terms of sailing, it didn't have any defenses themselves, but there are benefits to a smaller ship. It's a lot easier to go by unnoticed, and seem like a fast ship, but you're not really sure about that. Overall, seemed like a decent ship, at least good enough to make the voyage.
But in terms of combat, so it looks like it's more of like stealth and speed than.
Oh, it had no defenses.
Pow, pow,
Like
pow, pow, pow.
it had literally
It looked
no
like
defenses.
a ship that was meant to bypass the Navy, for instance, and go
It-
unnoticed.
It
And
looked like a
That's
ship that was
good.
more meant for, sailing it rather than using it for battle.
Something in D&D that isn't used for combat. What is that about?
Hey, Spyro.
It's
Yeah.
We haven't gone
what
far.
is-
We haven't gone far.
Okay.
We're just discussing the ship. That the ship, basically, the question was the ship good for ready for combat? But this ship was not made for combat. Clearly. But yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Spyro. Buddy,
Bedroom.
did he crash again?
No.
No.
Welcome to Tuesday tech support.
Spyro.
Spyro.
Dun 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 dun.
Okay, let's keep going and see if he can talk.
So, well, there certainly is danger of sailing out of this creature in the waters, although I suppose if we went with this boat, then it's quite possible the spear would also set out and find this creature to begin with, and it's also quite possible that this vessel, if capable of making it past the Oni Navy, the Navy, means that it's very likely avoids such a creature. Again, I suppose my concern is, even if we get to Woolgate, we still need to book passage to this island near Onigashima, and it very well could be a very similar situation of a smaller ship or someone who is interested in the sword or something else, or at a very exorbitant price due to the simple nature of the endeavor. In order to
Yes.
get that, it could very well be that this is the best offer we're going to get.
That is true. I could attempt to probe her thoughts lightly to see if there are any motives we are not privy to, but
Well, that is an option, although one I don't know. It could just piss her off, and if she seems to not really care until she saw the sword, then
well,
might decide
I did convince the captain of the Spear to consider us using my amazing
Well,
abilities.
trying to suggest someone to do one thing and openly probing their mind is
Well,
another.
she wouldn't have to be aware of it.
They did kind of say, oof, R.I.P. Spyro. She did kind of come across as someone that if you wanted to start a dialogue with, you're better off just dropping it. I can only imagine that if you start trying to probe her mind and forcing her to try and open up, it'll only have a negative.
It's my concern as well. Yes.
I see.
So, what do I mean? Should we simply put it to a vote. I mean, again, less Kyoho, unless you have strong feelings against this course of action, it might be very well to just vote on it. And
I believe that this is the best options. Considering.
What was that, Kara?
you're cutting in and out.
Discord connection problems!
That was clear.
Discord just wanted to be a jerk today. Kyoho's. I believe that this is probably the best course of action then, so.
I concur.
Although
I
I would
agree
like
as well.
to make sure that our return trip past the fleet of Onigashima is part of this deal. I would not want to leave us stranded either on the mainland or side island without any means of getting back off.
That is a good point.
There's no telling if there will be similar teleportation runes to get us off, and even if we would even have the means of locating and using them.
Well, are we?
I feel like we're in agreement, are we not?
I think we are.
Let's rock and roll, boys.
All right.
Yes. Right then. Emrys, did you? Excuse me. Emrys, did you want to
Bless you.
inform the captain of the sphere that we made alternate means of travel, or simply leave it in the air?
He simply said that if we did not return by this afternoon, then
Yes, you're right.
So,
Very well then.
Okay. So you make your way back to Saya's ship. As you get closer, you start, well, Emrys and Demir, both of you start seeing the flags and the ship. It's a small ship. Again, going to be a tight fit. It's nothing compared to the Spear, which was a huge-ass ship. But as you get close, you do see the woman. She is now sitting on the railing of the ship, just with her legs out. And she has this long pipe that she is currently smoking as she waits for you to arrive, just using her one arm. Just flick some of the ashes and then looks down at you. Make a decision yet? Well,
I believe we have.
Could I take the sword from off my my side and be like, don't disrespect his memory, alright? Toss the scabbard over to her.
she fumbles and it falls into the sea.
No!
Oh no. No. She
Oh no! My spiritual weapon does all the combat! Callahan sucks at physical activities!
Oh god. Oh god, it's true.
It's all coming out now! Oh my god!
No, she catches the sword. She puts down the pipe. In one fluid motion, she puts down the pipe and catches the sword. And you see her stand up on top of the railing. And she looks at the sword for a moment. Begins to slowly examine it. Then you see her put the scabbard on the sash. And she draws the sword with this flourish. And then looks at the blade. She seems to admire it, study it. For a few long moments, not saying anything. And with another flourish, she sheaths the blade. Takes a deep, deep sigh. Alright, get on. We're leaving.
You're fine for picking us back up for return passage, though, right?
How long is your business on that island?
Quick job. Like we're only like guys. Like come on, we're not even be there, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
are.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Probably just a couple of weeks.
Couple of
We're
weeks.
investigating some things there.
Tell you
well-
what. I can promise you that I'll pick you up after a while and take you to Woolgate at least.
Alright. If I recall, there are some magically inclined members of our group that, now that we have met, can contact you magically. Should we need to let you know anything?
Sure. That works.
You can reply, by the way.
We can discuss the details so everyone knows the specifications of that magic. I don't know how it all works.
You see her
All
roll
that
her
hocus
one
pocus.
good eye again. Just get on the fucking ship.
Demir
Get
gets on the fucking ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rich gets
Yeah.
on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The Oni twins. Alright. So, you all start walking up the gangplank towards the ship, the deck of the ship. You see her take the ropes that are tying the ship to the pier, and she pulls them off, and then pulls a few other ropes. She seems to be doing all the work herself. She has no crew. She's doing all the work herself, and she is only has her left arm, and she is just fluidly working through everything. She opens the sails, and the ship catches the wind and begins to push forward. She points towards the door that leads to below deck. He says, "There's supplies inside. It'd be enough for all of us if we ration it up. And you can just find some place on the floor to lie down. Get used to the sea. Any of you ever been on a ship before?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Emrys is just like, yes, looking immediately very queasy.
Demir is also just kind of. He's doing what probably kind of would pass as a nod, but he also does not seem very happy about this.
Uh-huh. She
Last time I
looks-
was on a ship. Sorry. Oh, okay.
No, go say it.
The last time I was on a ship heading Woolgate / Onigashima, the cook tried to kill and eat everyone on board.
She
I was.
She was focusing on Demir and Amaris. She was about to say something, and then she slowly looks towards Edward. I'm not going to try to eat any of you, if that's your worry.
Thank you.
And you two, if you puke on my ship, you're gonna be cleaning it up.
Yes.
Understood. And Demir does not look queasy, or Demir responds not like queasy at all, like
Uh-huh.
Emirates. It's just a very like. It's not he's not seasick.
Yeah. She.
Question for the DM: Would
Yeah.
5 points of lay on hands cure seasickness? Because they cure a lot of things.
Yeah, they would cure for a moment, but after a while, it would return because it doesn't. Because seasickness is because of the movement of the ship,
Yeah.
right? It's not really
It's not
a virus.
disease. It's motion sickness on a boat.
I'd say like it would give a momentary relief before it just comes back in full. It's like taking some meds that don't really work that well.
Okay.
All right. So the ship takes off, and you hear her go, "Get ready. You're gonna be seeing just open water for 2 weeks."
I can't wait.
She doesn't laugh like I did, by the way. She is a very serious person. I'm not. But yes, the ship takes off, and as you go, the first day goes by, no problem. Emrys, roll Constitution saving throw.
Hey.
You don't puke, and you're getting your sea legs quicker than you thought you would. So pretty good, pretty good. At least you're not, just emptying out the contents of your stomach every hour. But yes, you continue, and during the first day, everything is calm. You do see a couple of ships, and that seem to be going in similar directions. By the second day, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like you are in open waters, no longer see any other ships. And Saya, she does tell you that she doesn't exactly take the normal routes that the other ones take. It's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. But I'll get you there. The whole time she has her wrist on the sword unless she is actually moving something. She always seems to be keeping the sword on her belt.
DM question.
Yes.
Obviously, this is. You said it. She said it was going to be like 2 weeks.
Yes. 2 weeks at sea.
Obviously, this is not exactly like fancy living or comfort or whatnot.
Yes,
but
you can do your tattoos.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, like, could I like just but basically take my time, like, not trying to like rush job, but so I just making sure I don't get like.
Yeah, it's
keeping account of stuff.
basically you're gonna add a couple of hours to what you're doing, but you can definitely do it because the ship, it's not like super stable, but it is. You get used to it, so you become able to more or less work on the rest of your tattoo.
Okay, should I roll now or later?
How many days did you have left?
I started with I had 3 days in, and then you said it would take like 4 or 5 normal days total.
Sure. Roll
Arcana or just straight int?
Sorry, it's because you don't have proficiency with the tools, right?
Right.
So just roll in straight int.
And I'm going to use my hero point for that.
Ayo! What spell was it? Featherfall?
It was just a first level Featherfall.
Yeah, so yeah, you're fine. So it
Yeah.
basically costs what I told you. And
Yeah, I think I had Edward already deduct that from his
sure,
from his
sure.
treasury.
That's fine. And it takes you the extra 3 days to complete it.
Okay.
So yeah, a couple of days go by. Anything special you guys wanna talk during those first couple of days while Demir is doing the tattoos?
How are the supplies on this boat?
Oh,
Kind of set out without much prep for 5 extra people.
yeah. You check on the supplies and you actually find, surprisingly, a lot of food that you don't actually find you immediately, because Kyoho, you've lived in Onigashima most of your life, so you immediately see there's a lot of food that isn't like a lot of different dried fruits and cured meats that you wouldn't find in Onigashima.
All right.
You'll basically have to dip into the merchandise, but there would be enough food for everyone for the whole trip.
And water?
And waters. Yeah, you see there's 3 barrels, and inside you also see there's a mechanism for rainwater.
And also, we have a cleric who can magically create food and water as needed.
Let me use my brewing supplies, damn it! Didn't invite me along the alcohol trip.
What a shame.
Oh, but yes, anything you wish to do during the first let's say 3 days of the journey.
I'd probably just like to learn like ship stuff. Like, can I improve my ship knowledge? Like, just ask if I can like help with rigging and
Or watch with your ultra perception if she declines.
yeah.
You
Either
just-
way, I'm gonna either way, I'm gonna try and figure it out.
Yeah, Callahan's like watching her, and then these equations start forming in the air around him as he's trying to figure out how all of it worked. Like it's something incredibly super complicated.
If you pull the rope, something moves.
Indeed.
Oh my god.
But Callahan, after like the first day, she tells you, don't touch anything, don't move anything, don't get in my way. Second day, the same thing. Third day, and you're just watching as she works. Third day, she does start to go, help me out, pull this and tie it there.
Awesome. Yeah, aye, Captain in Oni.
Just roll me a charisma if you don't mind.
Not charisma, my other weakness.
Anything that isn't perception is your other.
Oh,
I mean, we all-
my god.
Do you want to use a hero point, or just gonna go with that roll?
What am I making a charisma check to do?
I'm not telling you. I'm telling you to roll a charisma.
I'm just seeing how charismatic. Yeah, fuck it. I'll drop a hero point. Fuck it. Let's go,
Okay.
boys.
Please roll less. Okay.
It's better.
I'll just head now. It's only half an hour left, guys. Like you clearly don't need me.
She does tell you to pull a rope here and there, just clean up the deck. But you do notice she is not warming up to you at all. She is, at least during these 3 days, you barely exist to her.
Is Callan picking up on this, or
Oh,
is he
yeah.
just kind of being his regular self, being like, "Nah, I'm charming as fuck.
Nah,
We're probably best bros."
You got a good insight, like normally a good insight. You start picking up on that, like she is you are nothing to her.
Wow.
Ouch.
Damn.
I mean, listen.
Hey, we got
I'll-
2 weeks. You can warm up in no time.
This is the first 3 days, so
Or throw it overboard.
yeah. What about the rest of you? Damir's working on the tattoos.
Edward will practice his swings because he never fought. He fought on a boat, but it was a long time ago, so he's getting used to fighting while the boat is rocking.
Okay. Are you like armorless, just naked from the waist up, just practicing swings?
No,
Is that's what's happening?
No. Catherine's not around, so there's no point in doing that.
Oh, okay. So if Catherine's not around, there's no point. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so you start practicing your swings. Roll me an attack roll, please.
Okay.
You hear her say, "Don't fall overboard with all that metal. You'll just sink to the bottom in no time."
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you swing your sword.
He knows that.
Okay, you swing your sword, and I mean, at first you're still getting your sea legs as well, and you're trying to swing, and you stumble, you nearly fall overboard at one point, but by the second day, you're executing your own different train techniques that you're used to doing in combat. You do have like actual military training, not military, but military. You know what I'm talking about. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cannibal military.
Yeah. Cannibal military. Sure. It is a form of military, so this works. But yeah, you keep practicing. You're pretty confident that if for any reason the fight breaks out, you're going to be able to swing normally. Roll me a charisma as well, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
As you're training, you notice that during the downtimes of her activity, you do start seeing that Saya. She does keep an eye on you as you're swinging a sword. She seems to be focusing on mostly your sword swings. She's clearly studying you, but she took an interest in you. The skill that you're bringing to the table.
Edward notes down the specific sword swings that attract her attention to use later on training near the Church of Maul.
Okay. So you take note. Okay, she seemed to like this vertical swing. I'm gonna use this more for Catherine, because all women like the same sword swings. Clearly,
that sentence has two meanings.
Yeah. But that's fine. We have Kyoho and Emerus.
Yeah, so Emrys is just like, I mean, getting used to,
Boat.
the sea life,
Yes, boat.
and B, practicing some dark magics.
Okay. So practicing firing out their spells, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll me it's charisma that you use. So roll me a spell attack. So basically charisma plus proficiency.
That'll be +7.
You can just roll a charisma saving throw. It's the same modifier. Now. Or whatever. I don't give a shit. Okay. So I mean, you execute your spells and do all of your stuff. You're not getting rusty, at least. But again, like Edward, you gain your sea legs pretty quickly. You're not barfing because your stomach seems to be holding up, and you know you can, if need be, you can move around. After the third day, you can move around pretty well on the ship. You get used really
Nice.
quickly when you're spending like the whole day on a ship. You get used pretty quickly to moving around after a while. Um, cool. Roll me a charisma with disadvantage, please.
Okay. Okay.
Pretty good.
Oh, nice one.
Saya, when you're training with your spells, she also keeps an eye on you. Doesn't seem that interested in your magical spells,
It
but
mostly just looks like Emery's is like practicing for a play, doing these weird mumbles.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
I call from the darkness.
But there is a moment, Emrys, as you're doing that. Callahan, you're watching Saya work, and it's only because of your unnatural perception. On the third day, as Saya is like rigging the sail, you see Emrys like doing JoJo poses to cast the spells.
It's exactly what Emery's is
Yeah,
doing.
basically JoJo poses, and you do see the briefest smirk on Saya's face as Emrys takes up one of the poses, and you just see her slightly leaning in the same direction as the pose, but then she goes back to tying the rope like nothing happened.
Yes.
And Kyoho.
Perfect.
Kyoho would probably be helping handle the food and the cooking.
Ooh, great. Roll the cooking tools, please.
Okay, let's see what happens if I try to press these cooking tools as if they were something that I query. What attribute?
This would be. What would cooking be? Dexterity? Because you're skilled at chopping up stuff, and I'd say sure, dexterity works. This is always like weird for me. Like, what's the main thing in cooking?
I'm gonna use my hero point
Okay,
and roll worse.
okay, sure. So you cook.
I'm not used to cooking on a boat.
You're not used to cooking on a boat, and the food you make, it's perfectly serviceable. But
Yay!
that's it. Like, you don't impress anyone. But you can still roll a charisma check, please.
Food sure is edible, Kyoho.
Yeah, that's the best way. Mm-hmm. Edible food. Thank you. Best compliment. Okay, so you don't really see. She doesn't really pay much attention to you when you're cooking, and doesn't say a word about the food. Um, However, she does still, pay a little bit of attention to you. And as the fourth day rolls around and starts going, she calls you aside, Kyoho.
All right.
You see her sitting right at the I don't know ship terminology, so bear with me on this. Right at the front of the ship, where Luffy usually is. And she has like one leg crossed over the other as she's looking you over, hand still on the sword. Tell me about the battle.
there were many circumstances leading to the fight that we had. It was not as honorable as any of us wanted it to be, but everyone was. Both parties, us and him, not in the best of positions. Where he is a bit on his last legs and was looking for death in battle opposed to death from ailments, and had offered to be used as a scapegoat to get off, to pay back someone, I would assume so that heat would be off in regards to something that we were investigating, and things were situated in fact forced to take that part of the bargain.
Wait. You're saying he wanted to die an honorable death, so he took a deal like this?
It was not the best of situations for any of us. The best I could do was try to keep the fight.
It doesn't make sense.
I know, but we did not really find out about his half until we had already resolved ourselves to go there.
Did you duel him? Yourself?
He took us all on, and
Of course he did.
he gave us all a good fight.
Of course he did. What school do you belong to?
The God's Eyes.
I've heard of it. She looks at you up and down. Heard of your brother, too.
Quite a lot of people here have heard of him, it seems.
He's a very notorious person.
That he is.
So, the great Mamrutenia fell to the God's Eye's little disciple. That's the story.
Indeed.
She chuckles. All of you, right?
Well, the tall armored one, Edward, he was not with us at the time. Player question. Had we picked up Terry yet?
Yeah.
Okay. We had another in our who passed away in a journey we took out to the unexplored regions back there.
Well, if his objective was to die, which I'm gonna be honest, I still find it hard to believe, but if that was his goal, and you were the only thing that was at his disposal, I can see him taking on all of you.
Yes.
Wouldn't have gone the same way otherwise, but he always had a...
Quite certain that if I had tried fighting him one-on-one, neither of us would have gotten
No.
that.
And again, Kyo, you see for the briefest moment she has this small smile. She goes, the old Oni had been getting softer over the years, so he might have done something stupid too. Did you bury him?
No. Carrying his ashes for when I finally.
Immediately, you see her straighten her back and open her eye wide. You have Mamoru's She goes, Mamoru Sensei's ashes?
Yes.
She holds out her hand. Given to me. Now.
Player comment.
Yep.
They'd probably be wherever Kyoho's keeping her regular stuff she doesn't carry with her all the time.
Gee, yeah.
Yes. It's like, I will go get them. And Kyoho's gonna go get them, so I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure the process was right.
I mean, there's nowhere Kyoho can run from her
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
I'm just saying, I totally thought that was gonna go like Kyoho's keeping that stuff that she usually has on her, and then reach into her chest.
Yeah, the magical pocket.
I definitely thought that's where Seb was going with this. So.
Yeah, but you go get the ashes, and
Yes.
she takes them, and you see him.
Sadly, part of the stipulation was that we had to turn over his head to be used for interrogation magic, but the rest of it is here.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm keeping these.
Understandable.
Thank you. You see her stand back up, clears her throat. Carry on. She walks away to the deck, to below deck.
I open up my sheet and untick the having those ashes on my character.
Yes, you no longer have those ashes on your character.
Oh man, those would have been worth at least 5 platinum.
Who knows? Maybe more. Who knows?
Oh no, that was the outstanding side quest. I was afraid would go unfinished if I died or we TPK'd.
It's gonna be in your character, in your quest log forever.
The quest state now enters to state 85. Kyoho handed over the ashes to
No. The point I was gonna make is if I died or if we TPK'd, I would never be able to get those ashes either to someone to deal with them or back to Onigashima. But now that quest is done, which means I could die again.
No regrets. No regrets.
That's the only reason Kyoho wanted to go back to Onigashima. It's like, now we could go back to the other ruins after all.
Yeah. But yeah, so first...
Like when you play Skyrim, and you know that Stones of Barenzi or whatever it is, you get that in your quest thing, and it's like, collect these stones, and there are no map indicators or anything for them.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the quest is just stuck in your inventory forever, and you can never be rid of it.
Yeah,
It's
I never
exactly like
completed
that.
those.
I
But
don't
anyway,
think anyone did.
I completed it once with a mod to show you where they are.
Well, okay, that doesn't count. Doesn't count. Okay,
Hey, that was before they patched it so that if you didn't grab the one that was behind a story quest while you were there, it was locked out forever.
Okay. Anyway, back to away from Tamriel, back to Telia. The 4th day goes by, and on the 5th day, as you guys the ship is sailing, still no land in sight. You do see that the weather becomes cloudier and, well, maybe not cloudier, as you start to notice there is a sort of mist that begins to show up around the area. The mist is thick, getting thicker and thicker. And you hear Saya. She looks around and she goes, "Heads up, all of you. Something's not right." You see her look around, her hand on her sword. As the wind.
Emrys has mage armor cast if
Okay.
it wasn't already.
Yeah, with the mirror cast. Yeah, the mirror cast as well.
Okay, so both of you cast mage armor.
Edward will cast Divine Sense.
Okay. Okay. What's the range on Divine Sense, by the way?
I think it's 60 feet. Let me just confirm that.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, 60 feet. Yeah, 60 feet.
Okay. So you cast Divine Sense. Don't really feel anything. Aside from this holy energy coming from Callahan. Sorry, Callahan. I forgot you're the holiest.
Yes.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Nice.
Yes, no. But you don't really feel anything as the mists begin to swallow up the ship, and you notice the wind calms down and the ship begins to move slower and slower until the sails are not actually moving. You seem to be just still. There's this stillness that settles up around you as this deep, thick, that's what I mean, thick fog surrounds you. Saya, you see her looking around, and then she turns and looks to the side, to port side. She starts walking, puts a foot on the railing, and then you hear her whistle, and then point with her chin in that direction as all of you look, and you see coming out from the mists this large vessel, this big ship, somewhat damaged. But the more you see of it, the more damaged it appears. Some of the damage, large holes that appear to make any ship unusable, but it keeps moving forward, moving in the same direction as your ship was moving. And then Edward, as it gets a little bit closer, you feel this strong, powerful, necrotic, undead energy coming from the ship. As you all start seeing figures floating in different directions all around the ship, vaguely humanoid, semi-translucent figures flying around. You see on the ship very thin individuals stepping closer to the edge, and you realize they have no skin or muscle. Most of them just bone clothing and these glowing eyes. And then, stepping closer to the middle of the ship, you see a figure about as tall as a human. It doesn't seem to have much flesh. It's lanky and has these long limbs, but it does resemble a human with mostly just skin and bone. This flappy skin that seems to have aged, and while very moisturized, it still just flaps with every movement. It has this three-pointed hat on it and a glowing purple eye as it looks down on you all. Welcome. You shall be the tribute to the king. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Holy shit.
Oh my
Wow,
god.
nice.
Yay!
Do, 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 do.
Oh, why are you laughing like that, Rand?
What? No, I'm not laughing like that for no reason. What are you talking about?
Oh
It's
boy, I finished my long outstanding side quest. Time to kill the party.
well, you're out at sea, and this weird ship with skeletal figures and weird apparition shows up. I don't know. It might be a good thing. You don't know.
Probably
Maybe
just
that's just
overexert, a hyperactive imagination. That's probably what it is, guys.
Yes, indeed.
Sorry if I seemed a little distracted during a game. Santimus Gifts got posted, and then Yacht Club announced a new video game.
Great.
Ooh.
I'll just say, in anticipation of this matchup, Demir has a very interesting spell selection for this this journey at sea. So,
well, I hope it was a good,
I had fun.
cliffhanger. Cliffhanger. Yeah. And I
was
hope it was a good
expecting
session.
like a sea monster or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a ghost ship. Fucking awesome.
Well, next session you're gonna be in episode 43. You're gonna be dealing with this ghost ship. Meantime, I'm gonna find someone to raid. Give me a moment.
and then after that is episode
Sorry, guys.
1
I really have to go.
of the new.
Bye, Spyro. Bye, Spyro.
I need to recover early. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
I'll see you in the chat.
Okay.
Bye.
I'm just gonna find someone to I'm just gonna find someone real quick to raid. But yeah. Whoever has to go, just go. No problem. Don't wait for me. But let's see. Yeah. But episode 43, you're gonna deal with ghost ship, and I'm surprised you actually picked Saya over the spear. To be honest.
Oh, why is
To be
that?
honest, it's the trip to, the island of Onigashima as well is what sold it.
That's fair.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. If it was just, I'll take you to Woolgate if he gives the
Cool
sword,
eye
I've been like,
patch
fuck
lady
that.
being on a boat with pathfinders. Cool eye patch lady being on a boat with pathfinders.
Indeed.
I like how basically our party, we arrived in Feywave like at the very beginning and learned pretty quickly. I guess it was learned, all these people like you can only sell stuff to Pathfinders, and so we immediately decided, you know what? Fuck Pathfinders, and everywhere we go, it's just like fuck Pathfinders. Hey, our patron doesn't like the Pathfinders. Awesome, sign us up. Oh,
yeah, just the fuck
like the whole
Pathfinder
teaming
trade.
up with them against the last ruins was like I guess we have to.
Indeed. Well, I mean, it's interesting, but yeah. So we're gonna be rating real quick. We're gonna be rating Vika. She is an artist that I've seen often draw for D&D campaigns, and at least from the few streams I've seen of her. And she also plays in a D&D game with Thunders, who I'm gonna be playing this week. But yeah, either way, let's just show her some love, and yeah, let's raid. Bye.
Yeah.